Hi, what's good, everyone? It's Reese, and I'm here with Jason and Hakeem, and we're the Diversified Gentlemen. And this, drink the water.
Let him drink,
Drink
man.
your water, bro. You serious? They're like, we the Diversified Gentlemen. All right, what's good, everyone? It's Reese, and I'm here with Hakeem and Jason, and we're the Diversified Gentlemen. What's up, players? Hey, so did y'all catch the Gucci Man versus Jeezy?
Yes,
versus?
sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Had to.
Yeah,
man.
What y'all think?
Fire.
What y'all think?
So for me, I thought the Jada and Fab was dope. Like two of my favorite rappers. I'm from the West Coast, so I don't really know a lot of Gucci's catalog. I know Jeezy stuff, but man, I think just knowing the tension between the two just fueled it that much more. And it was like highly anticipated. Obviously, you wanted something to pop off, right? Low key, I think everybody watching wanted something to pop. I mean, because you kind of expect. I mean, I knew it would happen.
I expected it. I didn't want it to though.
Right.
I didn't expect it would, but I low key kind of wanted it to, just because.
If you know the history, it's not rap beef. It's not like
it's not rap.
It's not like Bow Wow and Romeo going at it.
It ain't this record beef. It's
no, but it was definitely dope. It was definitely dope.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, man. I've always been biased to Jeezy, man. That's how it's always been. I mean, Gucci, I got some songs that I ride to, but I was already going into it expecting to hear what Jeezy gonna do to Gucci. I ain't even gonna lie. I wasn't even trying to see, the both who's gonna do what. I was waiting to see how Jeezy was gonna just overwhelm Gucci with so much catalog.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought Jeezy was gonna, man. I thought he was gonna run the room with this guy, man.
Right.
Gucci held his own though. Like, you forget like how much material Gucci actually has and how catchy he is. Like Gucci is dope. He's dope.
I ain't gonna lie, man. Honestly, I always thought, not always, but I didn't realize how, it's gonna be kind of weird to say this, how commercially trap Gucci is. You know what I mean? He has some songs in there that's real commercial that I was like, I don't know. It's always been like that with him. His songs never grabbed me hard like Jeezy would. Jeezy could turn your mood completely different. I don't know. Just Gucci's never been on my dude, man. Never. I'm
the same way. Gucci's never really been like my favorite. I'll definitely take Jeezy's music over Gucci. Hey, Jeezy will have you think you a drug dealer for real. Like, hey, am I really in the trap house? Like, what's good? But Gucci, I mean, he just has catchy stuff, man. I mean, even after like listening to that catalog, I'm like, yeah, he has catchy stuff. And I went back and downloaded some stuff and listened to it, and it's cool. It's just not on the same par with Jeezy, in my opinion, even after the battle.
Yeah, I will tell you, people from Atlanta, it's closer than you think, and they really mess with Gucci. You know what I'm saying? And he's really influential. So what you're talking about, the more commercial piece, is because the dudes he was influencing when they were teenagers, now they're basically the Drakes and the Migos, and it's easier to get features from them. But I mess with both of them. As far as my taste, Jeezy's that dude. But as far as a person, man, I really respect Gucci. He's super authentic. And you gotta respect, the glow up from that dude. He used to look terrible, you know what I'm saying? And had the stuffy nose. Yeah. Now he's like fitness.
The stuffy nose.
Dude, oh yeah, the stuffy nose.
Like, please go blow your damn nose.
But as far as catalog, y'all got Jeezy with the easy win.
Easy.
Yeah, I mean,
but
because
I say that with a biased eye, though. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I'm biased.
Yeah, I'm biased, and I just kind of felt like every time Jeezy came back, it was like, ooh,
good luck
with another one. Good luck, buddy. Yeah, he was on it, man. I mean, they was both on it, but I think the biasness towards Jeezy might have helped a little bit.
Yeah. I don't think it's a bias. Like, Jeezy is, you could work out to it. You can go in the club. So here's the thing about Southern rappers too, and this is going to be controversial. So the biggest ones like T.I.,
Luda,
Outkast, Luda. They speak really clear and have good lyrics. Because some of the Southern rappers, they have that, that twang, that Southern country twang that you hear in their music, and it's not that easy to understand. If you from there, got it, you can ride to it. But if you from, the Midwest, if you from the West Coast, and especially the East Coast, you might, it sound cool, but what are you saying? You know what I'm saying? G definitely always speaks real clear. Wayne always, especially Luda.
Luda, for sure.
Yeah. So I think just having that ear and being able to like enunciate makes it more universal for people that's not from that region.
I know when Jeezy first came out with Boys in the Hood, he was my least favorite when he first came out.
From Boys in the Hood?
Yeah. His verse was fire, but I can't remember the other cat's name.
Jody Breeze?
Jody Breeze was my favorite. So Jody Breeze could go. To me, he could go. But it wasn't until Jeezy's first album, I was like, yeah, that dude he's nice. It very simplistic lyrics, but just the way he like rides the beat and his beat choice. And obviously the hook, I mean, his hooks are just catchy as hell. Second to none. Ad-libs, second to none. That voice, the raspy voice, like, he just stands out.
What's crazy? You know what's crazy too about Jeezy's music? Like a Thug Motivation 101 didn't really age. Like you play it right now, it could have easily dropped today. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Jeezy, like that So Icy and some of Jeezy stuff it's pretty dated. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of dated, but Jeezy stuff is just like, it gets you hyped, man. It's negative vibes.
You hear it though. Some of the songs are hit, right? It puts you in a mood. Like, you know where you were when you first heard that. You're like, I remember this. This was going on. I was here. I was that. It does that for you. You know what I mean? It puts you back in a state of mind where you're like reminiscing automatically. He would play certain songs. He would say certain things. You're like, I remember this. I remember where I was when this happened. You remember things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You get that vibe from Jeezy. You just do. It's who he is.
Yeah.
Another thing you think about it, we start him starting down there. When he came on the scene for everybody to see who he is, he brought a whole bunch of people with him. You know what I mean? His fans came with him. So then people that knew him, you hype with them at the same time because you can vibe with them the same kind of way, man. Something that he did, you know?
And another thing that helped Jeezy, I think, in the mainstream is his features. And I think it goes back to like the sound of his voice, the way he kind of puts lyrics together, even though they're simplistic, the way he like delivers it, and his features, like I know when I hear Jeezy on the feature, I'm like, I know this song is about to be fire.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I can see his name on the feature. I'm like, yeah, this song's gonna be fire. I just know I know it's gonna be fire.
You ever find yourself waiting for his verse? Like, all right, song is tight, but
of course.
Every time.
He's just one of those rappers where it's like, I'm waiting for his verse. And I put Jadakiss in that same type of.
I was about to say the same thing, man. It was the same thing. And Jadakiss,
you know what I mean?
Like that same kind of vibe where you kind of waiting for his part.
Yeah, I'm like, I know he's gonna go in, and he does. He delivers.
That's Wayne. Wayne used to be like that.
Wayne used to be,
You know, like that. Kanye.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
Here we go.
Crazy. Get out of here.
Here we go.
Anyway, man, back to the verses.
Let's get back to the verses. I don't want to disrespect nobody.
What do you think of the response that social media had to the verses?
I mean, from what I saw, people were they accepted like the way it ended. Like I don't think a lot of people saw. I mean, obviously, I don't think anybody saw that coming. So that was dope, and I think the public definitely was positive about that. But if you look at the comments before that, like when it was live and you saw the live comments, hey, people was like, "Hey, man, it's about to go down. It's about to go down." You know what I mean? People were waiting for something to pop off, and then you saw Gucci's goons, his posse of goons behind you. Like, yo, something's gonna happen. But they played it, man. They played it off, and they ended well. And I think the public definitely enjoyed that. And then you saw what they were saying about Jeezy's growth versus Gucci's growth, I don't know if Gucci really feels the way he does, or if he was just playing to like that whole facade. You know what I mean? Like,
right, that's what you're saying.
You get what I'm saying? Like,
I kind of felt the same
Gucci's
way.
obviously not a dumb guy. He's not a dumb guy. So I think he was kind of playing this facade of, I'm still I still think this way. And Jeezy's like, nah, you got to grow. And I really feel that Jeezy was speaking facts and truth, but I don't think Gucci feels that. I think they both kind of think the same way when it comes to like personal growth. And I mean, obviously Gucci, look at Gucci now. Look at how he looks physically. Like, I mean, obviously he's about growth. Real white teeth, works out. Like, man. So he's up. Yeah, he like a
mind
normal guy.
Changed.
So
something changed. Yeah.
So he obviously thinks about personal growth. So I think that part was kind of like, looking back at it, is like, if that was staged, I don't think they needed to go that route.
Nah. And also the response, looking at it, man, some reason human beings love that tension, love that drama. People are waiting for that stuff to happen. You said earlier that drama, what's going to happen?
It's human nature.
It's going to be that next world star thing.
That's why UFC and football so big.
Exactly.
They like to see, it's the gladiator time. They like to be in the comfort of their own, just watching it.
Safe. Yeah. Real safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but it goes back to times of gladiators and warriors put in pits to fight each other in front of an audience. Like,
and people cheering, loving it.
And they love it. I mean, we've been like that.
You couldn't give them $10 million to step foot in that arena. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. So
the only thing that sucks about it is real, like a UFC is, 15 minutes of them in the octagon. Football, you know what I'm saying?
An hour.
They blow the whistle, they say hi, call a play. But this stuff was real life. People going to jail, people getting killed. And it wasn't, granted, when they put it on wax and we bump into it in the car, listening to it in the clubs, the collateral effects, behind the scenes that were affecting families, we weren't thinking about it. It was just entertainment, which a lot of these rap beefs are, but that clearly
was not just entertainment.
No,
that was real life beef. Yeah. But overall, to go back to your question, I think the social media handled it pretty well after the fact. Like, that was a good battle.
Even leading up to it, there was tons of memes afterward.
Yeah.
More. Man, the internet will never not be undefeated, man.
No, you can't beat it, man.
You're right.
The most creative people on earth lie on freaking IG, bro.
They'd be quick.
I mean, and then Gucci didn't.
Quickly.
And Gucci didn't help because Gucci was dissing the hell out of Jeezy leading up to it. So that's what made me think like they might actually go to blow, man, because Gucci is going in on this dude. So
I didn't think it was going to happen because I thought they were going to be like kind of like what we're doing on the Zoom.
That's what I thought.
I couldn't envision them being in the same room.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But obviously, Apple ain't going. Is it Apple that holds the verses?
Apple Music, yeah.
Yeah, so they ain't going. And that's definitely in a contract.
So there was a couple of nuggets that was kind of spread out through the verses. For instance, like growth. A lot of those memes, they were saying that's the difference between Gucci and Jeezy. Jeezy, exemplified pure growth, and Gucci was kind of stuck in the past. So what do y'all think? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I saw that immediately. Even the way they were talking. I'm gonna jump ahead a little bit. When Gucci was talking about his outfit, right? $10,000 outfit on, what this dude's wearing. I'm telling you right now, Jeezy's response, when I say perfect, was perfect. He was like, I ain't got $10,000 outfit on. I do own half of Atlanta, and he's real estate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He hit him with that. I'm like, it just shows his mental growth. Like this dude started trap. Think about
Gucci said we should do a jewelry versus, and Jeezy was like we should do a real estate versus.
Yeah. I lit up,
Yeah.
man. I was screaming like that's what I'm talking about, man. You think about his background, where he came from. Look what he's talking about right now. And I know people that's around him, his circle, doing the same thing. I'm sure he ain't just doing this for himself. So that means that each one teach one, whatever. Each one teach one. He doing that, man. In fact, if his words, what he said, you know that people around him, either he's motivating them or saying the same thing to them. That means he's growing that circle, and they all growing together. So knowing where his mind was and where he started, you know what I mean? That trap, man, I loved it. That's a triumph story.
I think, and even if it wasn't, whether it was scripted or not, right? Whether they talked about it before, because when you think about it, it's like, those comebacks is maybe it was a little bit too perfect, but either way, either way, that is a beautiful thing to see, especially guys from, where they're from, being where they are now. It's like you don't just have money, like you're creating that generational wealth and spreading that knowledge. But obviously we don't see that a lot because that's not promoted, right? What's promoted is the violence, the beef, the other bull, you know what I mean? That's what's promoted, not the positive growth. Yeah, man, that was great. That was beautiful.
Like a matter of fact, not to get off the subject of Jeezy and Gucci, but Big Boy, the last album, he had a song called what's that called? Order Operations. In the beginning of that song, he talks about it might be the wrong song. I get that mixed up. He's talking about how when he was younger, he bought certain things. And when he got older, he learned. Now he bought some land. They're talking about this stuff, man. It may not be the hook of a song, but it's being talked about. They know about it, so they're spreading it, man. The culture is changing completely.
Yeah, it's slowly.
People are not seeing it, right? Because let's be real: jewels, money, cars, big houses, that sells. It's a product. It's a product at the end of the day. You know
Jay-Z's last album, 444, was all about that.
Bro, 444 is literally a blueprint to success.
And even Nipsey's last album.
Yeah.
But this is the thing you gotta think about though. Are the people listening to those albums, like we get it, we understand it. But are those young folks listening to that stuff, are they understanding it, or are they saying, "Oh man, this is boring. I don't like that."
Yeah. It doesn't matter because I think kind of what we talk about in the other podcasts is when you don't have those role models there teaching you this stuff, and you're just consuming. This is the stuff you're consuming. If this is the only introduction and you're looking at your favorite artists and they're like, they're talking about real estate and investing, I think that's a great start. You know what I'm saying? Because when we were growing up in the 90s listening to this, no mention. The only mention I've ever heard of it was E40 saying, how you going to get $100,000 car before you buy a house. That was just like half a bar. Yeah. But now people are dropping, like Jeezy and Rick Ross got one on Jeezy's album, The Recession 2, that is dropped, called the Almighty Black Dollar or the Black Dollar. Oh, they snapped on it, The verse is something like Fendi, Gucci, that's goofy or something like that, man. They went off on it. But back in our day, we didn't have
that. We didn't have. See, and that brings up a good point. So 444, I've actually heard younger people say, I can't relate to what Jay-Z's talking about, so I don't like that album. Like I've literally heard young individuals say that. So it brings to thought, like Jeezy is our generation to a certain extent, right? He's like the latter part of our generation when it comes to rappers. Are the new generation rappers talking about that? Because that's who, these younger kids and younger adults are gravitating to. So are they talking about it? That's not happening yet. So it's like 444, Jay-Z, to these younger people, Jay-Z's this old rich rapper. He ain't talking to me because I can't relate to Jay. Right. But now we're at a certain age where we're like, yeah, we definitely understand Jay. And I wish we had that, but that's hindsight is always 2020. So the younger rappers are the ones that need to, that's where we need to kind of get that switch of, hey, these are lyrics that we're talking about. But
the younger rappers are getting mentored by the Jay-Z's and Jeezys
to a certain extent. To a certain extent,
but it's better than nothing because
it's better. Yeah, you're right.
Even Travis Scott, and I forgot who else, he got a song named Franchise, and that's what he's talking about. J. Cole is definitely on that, even though J. Cole's our age too. But please believe that these younger rappers are getting you know, it doesn't matter if they're taking it and running with it, but they're being told this by the older generation. And then hopefully that will, you know, that will translate to their music because they are the ones influencing the youth. But so to rewind it though, we're talking about the youth. That's like back in the day when Snoop and Charles Barkley and everyone be like, I'm not a role model. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the parents' responsibility. But I think it's everyone's responsibility.
I think that's
irresponsible
for them
with your platforms.
Yeah, that's
platforms.
very irresponsible
you know what I mean?
for them to say that they're not a role model, because if you are in the spotlight of any kind, all it takes is for one person to look up to you and you're a role model. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to have a crazy platform to be a role model. If you have a platform and someone's following you, yeah, you're going to be someone's role model. So saying that you're not a role model is, I feel, very, very irresponsible. And you got kids. Most of them have kids. So you saying that is saying that, I mean, it's so conflicting. It's so conflicting to me. I just feel that it's very irresponsible to say. I'll leave it at that.
All right. So we all got kids in our house, and, you know, there's certain content we don't want them listening to. So what happens if they do listen to it? You know what I'm saying? Do you turn it off? Do you have that conversation with them? Because the reality, yes, they are role models, athletes, entertainers. They're the biggest role models. Granted, they have no credibility except they're just, you know, artistic and very creative. However, you know, we see them on TV all the time, so they get a lot of our attention. But being fathers, you have to mold your kids basically into the image. For one, you got to set the example, but you're the one responsible for teaching them. That's not Gucci and Jeezy's.
Oh yeah, of course.
Of
course.
You gotta censor that stuff. It's not gonna be out there. You can't put it on them. You gotta, as a parent, censor different things. There's things I listen to that my kids will never hear. If they do it, it's not because of me. You know, there's certain songs that I'll play sometimes. I'm doing my own thing, and they'll hear like, "What is that?" Like, don't worry about it. Don't play that.
Get your ass back in the room.
Right. I'm not trying to explain things, man, because, you know, I don't want them to listen to certain things because they're younger and their mind's not ready to, you know, I'm sure enough to understand the difference between, you know, what people are saying and their actions, all that stuff there. For me, you know, as a grown man, I can decipher what they're saying and understand how it affects me. When you're a kid, when you're younger, you're gonna model a lot of stuff you hear and the things you see and do. So you got to be careful what they're exposed to it. You know, I'm gonna drop the gym here pretty soon about that. About, you got to be careful what you put in your consciousness, because that becomes a part of you. That's music, all of that, man.
Yeah.
And as not parents, even that.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Not even that. Not just for the person consuming it, but the person delivering it. Because you know, with all those deaths, with Tupac and Biggie, they rapped a lot about violence and they died violent. And even recently, you know, with the Mo 3, King Von, who else is
obviously, well, you said recently, but Nip, I mean, that's still very recent.
Yeah, but it was King Von. So anyway, but going, you know, because King Von's from Chicago, very gifted and skillful rapper, right?
Wasn't Pop Smoke just killed? Pop Smoke?
Pop Smoke, yeah.
There you go.
So listening to Pop Smoke's album, great album, right?
Yeah.
But when, you know, when I hear, you know, in this chorus, I know how to shoot, I know how to fight. I'm just like, and you got killed by a gun, you know what I'm saying? King Von rapped a lot about violence, but he was from a very violent area. But when you look at his videos, you know, and a lot of his videos that are on YouTube right now, just going back, catching up on his music after he passed, like, he was, you know, shooting at people. So not only was the lyrics about that, his, you know, 3-4 minute clips is him killing people, and he died in cold blood. So, man, it's just, and I think that's what sparks Jeezy's motive to actually pull this off with Gucci, which is a very long and very publicized beef, where he's like, yo, enough is enough, because this has been going on for 15 years. And there's 20-year-olds with the same exact beef dying still. Like, when is this cycle going to end?
So I feel like especially with rappers, I mean, a lot of them are from the hood, but I mean, you can talk things into existence, right? Not just
100%.
positively,
100%.
but negatively. So if that's what you consistently talk about, you may unconsciously find yourself in situations that may turn violent. You know what I mean? Because that's not only what you talk about, pretty sure that's probably what you believe. So
not even that, but when people are listening to it and they see you out, well, let's see what that dude's about that. Yeah, all right, cool.
Because there's some real dangerous dudes out there that they live
with nothing to lose. Nothing
to lose. So I think, you know, a part of our group, we had that conversation when Nip first died. And even though Nip was you can tell he was shifting his way of living and thought to a more positive direction, but he was still in the game. He was still banging. He still had friends that was banging. It's like the only way you're going to get out of that, you have to separate yourself from that entirely, 100%. That's why 50 Cent don't live in New York anymore. You know what I mean? It's like you can't. It's not surprising when these rappers are killed literally in their own hood. Like, just because you're successful and trying to do good doesn't mean that everybody wants to see you succeed.
That actually makes you bigger. That makes you a bigger target.
Makes you a huge target.
We're talking about that, how changing your environment, you know what I mean? What changes those people you're around, change your conversation.
Yeah.
You put that in any situation. Especially this whole thing. You talk about these things because you're around people that talk about those kind of things. So you're going to have those results. It's the same thing, man. You can put that in any kind of environment. You want to get out of that stuff? Get out of it. Don't talk about it.
Don't talk about it.
But at the same time, let's be real. When you glorify it and you talk about it, rap about it, we're buying it, listening to it, and we like it. Let's just be real about it. Now, we don't want to go into that lifestyle all the time, but when that beat drops and talk about this stuff, think about Gucci and Jeezy's albums. What's the majority of what they're talking about? Well, what are we doing? We bobbing our heads and enjoying a good time with it, man. So let's be real. It sells. That struggles, it does sell. But at the same time, the danger is it glorifies it and me thinking like, well, this lifestyle is where it's at. This gives me credit that I'm in this lifestyle. Nah, there's a balance, man. You got the lifestyle's getting you money on the rap game, but the majority of folks living it, the majority are not making money like that.
Yeah, not at all.
They're not making money from that. All rappers ain't making it. You know what I mean? If you're over 40 years old, you still rapping, time to give it up.
Yeah.
That lifestyle is not going to be glorified.
Unless you're super talented. And that's right. no kidding, like your passion. You know what I mean?
And the problem is people living that lifestyle, everybody lives that lifestyle thinking, all right, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna rap about it, I'm gonna make it big. Everybody don't make it out like that.
Yeah.
That's a danger you take, a risk you taking by staying in that environment, and glorifying it, you're gonna have that, you can have the results.
Yeah. And once you make it, your first move should be getting out of that environment. First and foremost. I need to get out of this situation. Obviously, that's why you're rapping. That's why you're trying to make money.
Yeah. Or if you're going to leave it, these use a platform to make that situation better in that environment. Not just leave it, but try to make it better. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
I don't have to be a hypocrite. You know what I mean? I'm not doing that. Let's be real. We're not going back where we're from and trying to make that thing better. You get taught to think, all right, make a little bit, you leave, you made it. You don't want to go back to that environment. And it takes a lot of capital to make that better. We go back to Nipsey. What was he doing at the end of his life? You know what I mean? He was going back. And people talk about buying the block, but how many people have enough capital to be real to go back
to buy the block
and buy the block and improve the situations? Not a lot are willing to do that. You don't see a lot of people living where they grew up and they rap about. They just don't. They go somewhere else that's big money and still rapping about it. But they don't live there no more.
Yeah,
that's where hypocrisy comes in, man. You gotta watch out for that kind of stuff.
You're right. I mean, that hypocrisy in that aspect is very likely, and I think the word you're probably looking for is like being just unselfish. You know what I mean? Like, man, that is such a tough position to be in because I hate to keep bringing up Nip, but he is the perfect example because he went back and was trying to change where he was from and was still killed in the same city where he's from, same hood. with a store that he owned. You know what I mean? Like, that is just insane to me. It's insane. It's like, all right, so let me go back, fix the hood, but I'm gonna let y'all know I'm not gonna visit. I'll just develop some stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, it's just it's crazy.
Yeah, but that's the reality though, because
It is.
you go back, you a target. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
When you make it too big, like 50 he was explaining it perfectly. When you first show up and you the underdog and you successful, it's like everyone's rooting for you because you just came from the mud, got it, and you're an inspiration. But when you keep becoming successful and you grow and you get too big, they look at you like, yo, so that's unobtainable, right? So people start rooting against you because now you set the bar too high. Like, we need a grading curve, like bring it back down.
Yeah.
What about us?
Yeah.
You went too far. We won't be able to ever amount to that. So now we're gonna basically bring you back down, or for you to come back down.
I mean, yeah.
You in another universe, and I'm still in the hood.
Yeah, I mean, think about how many people was calling, saying 50 was broke. I mean, bringing up 50, but like, man, 50 ain't broke. If you think 50 is broke, you you got some wrong information.
You got a good lawyer.
You know how it works, man. So it's just, I always say, man, misery loves company, unfortunately. And when people start to become successful and you're doing the same thing, it makes you more miserable. You're like, man, I really don't want to see you succeed. You may not say it, but you definitely feel that way.
Yeah. So where do you think the culture goes from here? Do you think the impact of that versus is going to like spread across the rest of the culture, and we can potentially either them linking up and other beefs being forgave, or Jeezy talking about investing in real estate? Do you think there will be any positivity coming from the verses us being entertained?
I think there will be. I think there will be, but it'll be very, very small increments, bits and pieces here and there. Overall, beef is always going to sell. These dudes are always going to have drama. I mean, even on a smaller scale, you look at who's beefing with. I mean, who ain't beefing with 6ix9ine? But is it Lil Durk? Lil Durk? I don't know. One of them little dudes.
one of
them little cats.
Everybody little.
They're all little. Is beefing with, like, it's that will never go away. That'll never go away. One, you got hood dudes. It's just a part of it's a part of the environment, and it's a part of the hip hop culture. Like, you think about rapping in its very core. It's like, it came from, like, battle rap is a big thing. I mean, it's a different type of facet of entertainment, but just the fact that you're battling, you're going at somebody. I don't think that's ever. It's very aggressive. Exactly. So that's never going to go away. The positivity, I think, will hit individuals in small increments. But I mean, even what sorry to bring him up again, but even what Nip was doing after his passing, it's like small increments. You know what I mean? And then we had 3-4 other rappers die after him. So it ain't gonna change. It'll just be the positive side will be given to us in small increments, but that negative side will always be there.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think about it as it was just entertaining. We weren't talking about talking about that beef until this versus came up. It was way back then. We left it. Nobody talked about it. We weren't talking about that beef until right now. That's one time we brought it back up. You know what I mean?
That's a good point.
It's just pure entertainment. I think even going forward, it's entertainment. That's exactly what it is. Let's call it what it is. Now, was it good to see that? You know what I mean? Because of the attention. Yeah, it was cool to see it. But as far as anything, growing from this or being, a significant point in time in the culture, no, it was two rappers a lot of people had a little beef. People want to see what's going on. I don't think beef is going to sell future verses. You know what I mean? Because that's part of the culture, like you said. It's been there. That's part of You're gonna have that.
Man. Yeah.
Remember the Nas Jay-Z, that whole thing.
Yeah.
It's been there. It's been part of it. People waiting for this kind of stuff. So I don't think it's gonna change, the culture at all or influence any kind of way. It's when it boils down to it, it's entertainment. That's exactly what it is. And the part where, Jeezy talking about, real estate and that kind of stuff like that, majority of the audience, it went over their head. I'm telling you right now, they didn't catch that. They did not catch that. We was like, yes, he's talking about it.
Or it just sounds nice.
Yeah, it sounds nice. But the average person, okay, that was cool. You said that. What about this beef though? They're back on that, or the memes. They went right over their head, man. So we gotta look at it from different lenses. As a general audience, people watching this, it's entertainment. It's what it is. Get a little chance to reminisce.
What's funny is I'm glad that you brought up that real estate comment that Jeezy made again, because now that I think about it, like going through social media and seeing people post like, what Gucci said and then Jeezy's Jeezy's answer. I'm like, and they're like, yep, this is truth. That's fact. I'm like, bro, you don't even own a house.
Yo, I can't even front. That was like
apartment.
the first time in my life where I felt like a street dude, where you want to check someone's credibility. Like, I'm out here doing this real estate thing.
Yeah.
What are you validating? Let's talk. Yeah. Like, what you got going on? It was almost offensive when people were reposting that. Like, so wait, are you telling me you own a property? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you working towards that?
Mm-hmm.
And if you are, more power to you. Hit us up, join the black and brown investors. But y'all just trying to be on the right and wrong side.
It's a fad. Like, it's a fad.
Like,
that's what it is.
Bro, it's a fad. That's all it is. It's a fad. And I mean, it's like when people, even when rappers die, right? You see it everywhere on social media. R.I.P. so and so. I'm like, bro, have you really listened to any of their music, or you just posting it just to get likes? And a lot of people just post to get likes. So, social media it's a lot of good and a lot of bad.
Hey, some make millions, some make memes.
Exactly.
That's what it boils down to, man. That's what the end of it is. Some people focused on that whole meme and that stuff, and some people that are not. Put it like that.
All right, so give the people something that they can take from that versus that versus situation and apply to their lives right now. Give them.
Take it for what it was. Entertainment, but at the same time, look at where these guys started their beef, especially Jeezy. I'm biased, I ain't gonna lie. Where they started and where they are now. Jeezy went from rapping about trap, that lifestyle, to statement he made. I'm back to it again. To hey, I own half of Atlanta. To me, that was the most significant bar he dropped. It wasn't even a bar in the whole thing. Is that progress from where he was, the beefing, all that lifestyle, to being an investor and a different kind of man, and for the culture. I think that's bigger for the culture than the actual entertainment value. But yeah, it's entertainment. But what you can draw from that is their experiences and where they are now, and how you can reflect that on your own personal lives, where they're not who they were. Of course, they got that background, that foundation. So but at the same time, they're grown from that. They're grown from that. So take that from it. Entertainment first. The second, look at the growth.
Mm-hmm. And to piggyback off of the growth of each entertainer, it doesn't matter what situation you're in. You apply yourself, you do the right thing, you can get out. It may take some time, it may take some leg work, but you can get out of most negative situations that you're in and live a more positive life. So that's what I got.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna be real practical and direct. If you think that real estate thing sounds cool, it's actually much cooler to own real estate. So get your credit scores up. Start saving to put a down payment on. Look into acquiring real estate. You know what I'm saying? If you have an apartment, if you are renting right now. Having real estate is basically owning whatever you are living in right now. So look into to that because there's a lot of stuff that sounds really cool. But I mean, that means you understand the importance of it. So don't just, repost something or, clap when you hear that. Actually try to be about it and improve your life, improve your situation, improve the culture. All right, man. So that's all we got for this week. Make sure you subscribe and like this. If you want us to talk about anything else, please hit us up, G, or leave a comment. We out.
Later, y'all.
All right.